Welcome to Blooming Dandelion, where we explore healing, growing, and evolving to live a balanced and fulfilling life. I'm your host, Andrea Rivera Cazul, and each week we'll dive into practical tips, inspiring stories, and expert advice to help you bloom. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Blooming Dandelion podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Rivera Cazul. You can call me Andy, your favorite dandelion. I mean, I might not be your favorite dandelion, but I hope I'm becoming your favorite dandelion. Just welcome back. There's a lot of noises out there. Lots of folks just jumping around and enjoying the weekend. But I'm grateful that you're here. And I'm grateful that it's August, that we are winding down. And I mean, I'm sad because I know that a lot of y'all are heading back to school soon. It's winding down. Summer is getting close to the end. It's sad, okay? Every season has its end. Every season. I know we got a couple weeks left for some. I know Puerto Rico, they're slowly starting. Sorry. I know I'm sending love, light, and happiness. School is important. Finish school, finish strong. You know your worth. Study hard, okay? It's been great. August has been nice. And I know that we're only like week 2 of August. I don't even look at a calendar anymore. Thank God for the self-love challenge, because if not, I would be lost without it. The calendar and I aren't friends. It's really hard for me to stay organized, apparently. But I really just wanted to say thank you for coming back for yet another week. We always start off with a lot of gratitude for y'all, the listeners, and just a lot of exchange of gratitude and gratefulness, because it's important. It's important to exchange that level of gratitude and always understand that we are all important in this grand scheme of things. Without y'all, there's no this, and without this, there's no community. Okay? I mean, it really takes honesty, transparency, and showing up for this to be a thing. Okay? So, without this, I am just me, myself, and I in this room, and that's great. I can talk to the walls all I want, but it's nice to know that the story is being heard and received, and it's helping, and it's doing something. At least it's a catalyst of fire, of inspiration, of anything you want to call it, right? I think that that's important. It's whatever you want to put it into your puzzle piece of a journey. And that's what's important, is that your journey is specific to you, whatever you like to call it. A lot of people like to pigeonhole specific things and call it, that's the only thing that you can call it. No, I'm not here to do that. I am not here to dictate what this journey should look like. I'm not here to tell you that this is not what you should call it. That's not me. I'm here to simply open your eyes to different experiences. I'm here to hopefully open your horizons to different ways of healing. I'm hopefully here to expand your knowledge the way that I have expanded mine. Because a lot of times, when we grow or how we grow is by learning and knowledge. That's why it's so important to stay in school and to learn the most that we can. And I always say that when we stop learning is the day that we die. Honestly. When we stop learning, and learning doesn't have to be all academic. We learn every day with people around us, with the community that we have around us, with family members, with just anyone that you are around. I used to have teachers teachers and just the school system that I used to work at. I used to work, or not even work at, I used to be at a school when I was younger, and we would have to work and do community service. And when we would do the community service, there was once that we had to do this at a kind of retirement home. And one of the things that I was told that has always stuck to me and probably like really changed my mind on retirement homes, and I'm so grateful that somebody said it, was that literally retirement homes are history books just sitting there. And the stories that our grandparents, the stories that our communities, that our friends, families, and everyone has to share are so impactful. Lived experiences are so impactful. And books are important, don't get me wrong. Books are so important. But hearing it from someone else and hearing their knowledge and their experiences going through the things that they've gone through, from their towns, from political activism, from anything, decades of activism and decades of just, there's so much. So again, I think community is powerful, and there's a lot that we can learn from each other. So I went off on a tangent, but welcome to the episode. We have been on a 1-week self-love challenge. Oh my goodness. So we have been on the self-love journey for 1 week. We got 30 days, y'all. We can do this. I know that it's hard. It is hard to commit to something, and sometimes having to do something and remembering to do it, and the stresses and the stressors of life and responsibilities get in the way. But I promise that from our conversation from last week, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. I know you're still dancing to it. Boundaries, 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 boundaries. I know, I know you're still dancing to it. But from the stressors of life, we have to put boundaries in our life. We have to put structure in our life. And how we do that is by putting these challenges, and not even challenges, but obviously this challenge is for us to see what is it that we need in our life to make sure that we live a balanced life. What boundaries do we need to feel the love within ourselves, so that way the love showcases outside. I posted a video on Lemon8, TikTok, and Instagram, all 3 of those platforms. It was the same video, but essentially it was showcasing my body and showcasing myself, self-love, and my belly and my stretch marks and my body in a swimming suit, in a bikini, and just sharing that I love my body. And I was at a point in my life when I was younger and I was almost 100 pounds smaller, and I would not ever be in a swimsuit. My body was smaller, had less stretch marks, had X, Y, and Z, so many different things, right? All these things that we think are wrong with our body. And we look back and we're like, what was wrong with me? What was wrong with me? But I look back and obviously I just wasn't ready. And because I didn't have the tools to heal those wounds within, I just didn't love myself. And I had to work really hard for me to gain that self-confidence. And it has taken me a really long time. A very long time. So if you are feeling like you are starting and you're like, why am I not at a point where Andy is? Why am I not at the point where I can get up there and just dance freely with my jiggly butt, with my cellulite and stretch marks? Why can't I do this? It's because you haven't put the time in yet. You have to be patient. It's okay. things do not happen overnight. I know I hate this saying. I hate when people say Rome was not built overnight. Things do not happen overnight. I hate it. I hate it because it happens with weight loss. We work out, and sometimes when we go to the scale, we're like, why am I not skinny? We just sweat our asses off for a workout, and we're like, what's going on? What is going on? I just worked out 2 hours and I eat a salad and I'm not skinny yet. And I ate air for breakfast. What is going on? It's because you don't have patience and you're not eating nutritious meals and you're not eating appropriately because you're starving yourself. There are so many different ways and reasons why things aren't happening. And so this self-love challenge is for you to see the missing pieces of this puzzle. Okay? It took me so long. I thought that back in 2020, my puzzle was finished. Finite. It was done. My puzzle was done. Completed. Paper mache to the wall. I thought. And little did I know, my puzzle was not even complete. It was not even halfway done. You will be surprised at how long a journey to healing, to be healthy, to self-love takes. And the journey continues even when you feel like you are done. Even on days that you are the most confident, you still have to put in the work. You still have to dedicate the time because it is something that has to be conditioned, right? We're right now in the Olympics, and Olympic athletes have to consistently go to the gym to maintain their bodies, to maintain their stature, right? And you think, wow, that makes sense. Their job is to maintain a level of athleticism, right? They have to, all year round, be at maintenance. Be at maintenance. They can't stray away at maintenance. And then when it comes to peak performance, they have to either increase their training or they have to, fix their training, whatever the case may be. They work that out with their trainers. They inquire for support. They have to eat more calories. They burn more calories. It's exhausting. They're exhausted because they work harder. They're more patient, more resilient. They have to endure painful experiences while they train. It's just like that. Think about it how they train their bodies. You sometimes have to look at these analogies as physical moments, right? Physical moments. Or like a car. I always think about like those moments like a car. If a car breaks down, you don't keep on driving it if it breaks down. You have to stop. You have to fix what's wrong with it. And I'm not a car person. I don't know everything about cars. So maybe this analogy doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in my brain. But a car breaks down and you can't keep on driving it, right? If my body breaks down because I'm not loving it or treating it right, I gotta stop. I can't keep pushing it to the brink. So that way I'm more exhausted or more tired or more depleted, or I feel like I can't do what I keep on doing anymore. There gets a moment where we are just non-existent. It's a shell of a person. And this self-love challenge is really to focus and hone in. So I want to focus a little bit, and this is not the topic that I want to talk about, but I just want to highlight from this past week, one of the things that I have really loved. So I want to highlight the week and what we've done. So day one, we wrote 3 things that we loved about ourselves, and all of these you can find on my Instagram. I posted them. I will be making a highlight reel of all of the self-love days. So day 1 was write down 3 things we love about ourselves. Day 2 was spend 10 minutes meditating. Day 3 was read a chapter from a book that inspires you. Day 4 was take a 15-minute walk without any digital distractions. Day 5 was write a positive affirmation and repeat it throughout the day. Day 6, create a vision board of your goals and dreams. And then day 7 was reflect on the week, the past week, and write down your thoughts in a journal. So in this past week, I will say that one of my favorites has been, and I haven't even gone to my Bloom and Soil, but like this is part of my Bloom and Soil. So my Bloom this week has truly been doing day 3, was reading a chapter from a book that has inspired me. My Bloom the previous week was going to an event for Drew Afwalo. This woman has really inspired me by the way that she is standing up for women's rights and for just folks in the industry, folks just in general, not even in the industry. She really inspires me as to just even how young she is, how she has shown up post-COVID. And I think she was really a part of that boom when like TikTok was taking off. And I got her book, and this was one of the books that I started reading. I finished 2 books. This past week I finished Dominicana by, oh my goodness, why can't I think of her name? I'm gonna blink, but I finished Dominicana and I'm gonna think of her name. By the end of this podcast, I'm gonna say her name. I finished Dominicana, and then I finished Fattily by Stephanie Yeboah, and then I'm starting Loud, and I have gone through a couple of chapters. And if you're anything like me, reading books has been a challenge. For a long time, I would get distracted, and it's something that, again, in previous episodes I've mentioned that I am constantly discussing with my doctor about, you know, what are things that we can figure out what's going on with me, whether that's depression, anxiety, if we need to test for ADHD or whatnot, because I do get easily distracted and go off on a lot of tangents, and there's a lot more to this than just those simple things. But reading is a big distraction. I didn't feel like I did well in school because I would read and doze off into La La Land and just create imaginary worlds. And for me, a really big thing that has helped me this year to read a lot of books that I've been tracking. And that's one of the things that I have loved with turning 30, has been tracking my books, has been being able to listen to the audiobook while I'll read a physical book. Now, I know that is sometimes a big monetary ask for a lot of people. What I tend to do sometimes is if there's an event that the ticket has the book with it, that's kind of worth it for me because I kind of get a 2-in-1, you know, girl math. But if I can get a ticket and a book, that's kind of how I do it. And then I usually go on to Libby. Libby is a free app. This is not sponsored at all, but hey, if you're anytime that y'all are looking to sponsor a girl, I am here, willing and able. But Libby is such a great app. I really truly believe in it. It's free. You use your library card. I was able to get my library card just going on the internet and just registering for it. And you put it in, you get access to thousands, magazines, books, audiobooks for the Kindle, everything at the tip of your fingers. And it's just so easy. You can get access to it for about like 2 weeks, I want to say 14 days. And it's just accessible. And I think that when it comes to accessibility, this is amazing for folks that don't have the ability to make it to the library, or don't have the way to just go out there. But yeah, I'm all about accessibility and making things easy for folks. And yeah, Libby has saved my life, being able to listen and read a book at the same time. So Loud is my bloom of the week. I'm learning so much. I do love reading about folks' lives. Like I said, I think you learn a lot about the community that you build online as well, right? Not only on around you, but online as well. The people that you follow tells a lot about you. And I think that when you follow strong people that have good moral compasses, and you hope that they have good moral compasses, I think it's important to keep supporting those people. My soil of this week was, honestly, I had a lot of migraines. They were really bad. I was miserable, but honestly, we championed through. I have an appointment coming up. I know that y'all are getting tired of these soils being the migraines. My soil was also just some bad news I cannot share, but just know that we're just gonna keep swimming. Okay? Love that. But yes, for week 2, we're gonna discuss the week 2 at the end of the podcast, okay? But what I want to discuss today, I don't have it written down. We're free flowing today. But I wanted to discuss because I put myself in pigtails today, and I looked in the mirror and I kind of flew back in time. And in between a lot of things that have happened this week, and again, the person that I am on social media, the person that I am in person, I've just been reflecting this week. And I think when it comes to who we are as people, there's a sense of reflection that we have to do. I am a person that has moved around a lot. I think back to when I moved to Pennsylvania and the bubble that was Pennsylvania. It was definitely a culture shock that I don't think I had the right words to say when I was 4. And I mean, does any 4-year-old do any 4-year-olds, because let's use proper English, do any 4-year-olds have any words to say when they don't really know what to do in a new space, in a new town, in a new state? I don't really know or remember how I reacted to moving or anything. I do remember, and I've been feeling this way. I don't know why. I've been thinking about this the past couple of days heavily. And I think really it has to do with this self-love challenge, because of so much reflection and all that stuff. I keep on remembering how much I felt out of place, or having to compare myself, or having to even like fend to like be seen as like equal, which is crazy to think about, but like so justified, because when you think back, and not even when you think back, still to this day, it's very hard for any child to still try to fit in and all that stuff. But I think back and I remember, and I know that when we moved, it was due to, my father's job, and it was a whole crew that moved from this place. I'm trying not to disclose too much, but moved from this place over to this state, and it was a group of Puerto Ricans in this state we knew each other, and we created family, and friends of friends became my aunts and uncles, and they became my cousins as I was away from my cousins. And they looked like me. They were the people that looked like me, that celebrated my customs, my culture, and everything. But on my day-to-day, when I would go to school, I was surrounded by kids that were blonde, blue-eyed, and looked nothing like me. And I think truly I felt inadequate since then. I think that's when I first started feeling like I don't fit in. And this is like really heavy, but like this is like where I think it all started. And I think we all have some form of a story where we feel like we didn't fit in, or this is the story of the seed of where my trauma or where something started for me. And when we moved away from Puerto Rico, or when we moved away from Pennsylvania, moved back to Puerto Rico, it ultimately felt exactly the same. But I was around people that looked like me, that were a part of my culture and everything. But here I was coming from Pennsylvania, and then I was pushed away because I wasn't a part of the culture. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't necessarily know what people had been talking about. I didn't know the music. My music had been Spice Girls and JoJo and people that people weren't listening to in Puerto Rico. So I was not in the know. And so people then started name calling me down there. And then I was being bullied by my weight. And then it just became a constant like catalyst and snowball effect, and moving schools, and it just became I just became shy. And even though I was shy, I was still extroverted with friends, right? I think that we all have our core group where we're like extroverted and we are friendly, and that's our homies, our friends. We are true to them and they're true to us. But with everyone else, we stay quiet, we don't say nothing or anything. And when I look at the past week as to what has happened and what the catalysts were in the past, I compare the two. This past week, and in the past couple of months, I have posted videos of self-love, of what I have told y'all in the beginning of this episode, of the bathing suits, of the self-love and stretch marks, of just getting to love, confidence, everything in your body. And I get sad at the people that post the comments, because it's a direct reflection of their confidence, not mine at this point. Because the work that I'm doing to heal my inner child, to heal my inner teenager, that is the work that I get to do every single day. I get to take care of that little 4-year-old girl that didn't feel adequately appreciated by her friends. I get to take care of that little 10-year-old girl who felt like she was being bullied by her friends in her classroom. I get, and not even, you can't even call friends who bully you. I get to take care of that 14-year-old girl who was being bullied by the boys in the classroom. I get to take care of the 17, 18, 20, 21, every version of myself, because I carry every version of myself within me. And you see, the topic of today and why I wanted to free flow today is because the self-love challenge, and this all connects this month, the self-love challenge has to do with the past versions of ourselves, because we carry who we are within us. And the day we give power to the words that people put on us is the day that they win. And we can't allow others to win over the governance over our bodies. We cannot allow people to make fun of us for our individuality. We cannot allow people to tell us that we are doing something wrong when we are simply existing. We cannot allow people to tell us that it is wrong for simply us wearing a bathing suit to the pool or the beach, when a person who is a similar size or less, but just has a different composition of body, can do it. It is not okay. No one has the right to tell someone else what they can do with their body. No one. No one. It is 2024 and we need to learn to mind our business. Mind your business. What do you have to do with somebody else? It is your business when you have to defend somebody else. All right? Help them out if they ask for it. Or if it's actually cruel. If it's cruel, defend. Defend and make sure that the other person knows that they're in the wrong. But if it's not, mind your business. Mind your business. Okay? You do not deserve to live in shame for existing. You deserve to live and thrive because you deserve love. You deserve to love every inch of your body. And if you are not there yet, that is okay. You will get there. But it is time for you to shed away from that fear. It is time for you to accept that the pain that you're holding within you is the pain from your different versions of yourself. And those different versions of yourself is just a tiny girl, tiny boy, whoever is within you is who you carry within you. That person that felt that pain is still inside of you. And you can simply sit with that and just ask, what is it that happened to you? What is it that you went through that affected you? And you know what you have gone through. You know what might have affected you at a certain time, at a certain date, at a certain milestone. I still remember to this day a really big thing that, and it has nothing to do with my body at all or anything, but I am still traumatized at doors that are slightly ajar because there was a burglary at my house, and I witnessed the burglar at our house. So that is traumatizing. So you know, at a certain age, at something has happened in your life. And you need to discover how you can heal those moments. And whether you can heal that or not by yourself, then you need to find someone, a professional, to help you. And let me say this as a blanket statement. out there. If you need to take medication, please discuss that with your medical professional and know that there is nothing wrong with taking medical items. Nothing. Like, medicine is important. And if you have a medical chemical imbalance within you, it is okay. It is okay for you to take something that will help you out. We all need a little help. I always compare this to any other issue, right? If we were to have a heart condition, if we were to have diabetes, if we were to have anything, we would take something. I had PCOS. They had given me metformin back in Iowa. I would have taken it. Anything. We have to make sure that we are at the best of our health. And sometimes it will take a couple of tries. But it's important for us to just take care of ourselves. And whether or not that's with medication or just with therapy, that is up to you and your doctor. No one else. No one else. No one can say, hey, you shouldn't take medication. Are you a professional? Are you my doctor? You don't get to say. So I just want you to know that there is such a link between the experiences that we have as adults, the experiences that we have had as children, and this 30-day self-love challenge. I wanted to link it all together because oftentimes I think a lot of us either see a self-love challenge or we see some type of challenge and we're like, Jesus Christ, a challenge? Like, what would I do with a challenge? And it's not important. It's something that really is crucial. And like I said last week, boundaries is something that we all need. Boundaries is something that some of us have never learned, or some of us have lost because we have been in abusive relationships and they've controlled a big chunk of our lives. And so in order for us to find normalcy again, in order for us to get to a place where we really feel like we have control over our lives again, we need to set boundaries. And in little increments is how we get to learn. That is how we get to learn. It's the same as working out. You can't run a marathon without walking the block first. Or, getting on the elliptical for 10 minutes. You can't lift 300 pounds without lifting a 10-pound dumbbell first. You have to train. So let's train together in our self-love journey. And our first focus is this 30-day challenge. It's 30 days. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. I think we can do it. I think you can too. And you've only done 7 days. That's it. 7 days. And if you haven't, you still have time. You can get to it. If you want to double up this week, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with doubling up, okay? If you didn't and you don't want to do it, you can still do a 28? Is it 20? I can't even count anymore. 23 days. You can do 23. That's totally fine. 30 days, 23. 23 is still better than 0. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't kick yourself by saying, I didn't do anything, I can't do nothing, I can't start now. You can start now. Who told you you can't? I didn't tell you you can't. You can start on week 2. You can start on week 1 if you wanted to and just double up. Whatever you want. You make the rules. I am simply giving you a little manual, and you get to decorate it, make it your own. Okay? All right. We're going to get into what week 2 is going to look like. This is exciting. Week 2 is all about nourishing the body. Again, all of these are going to be on Instagram. So if you want to look back on what week 1 was, you can. I'm also going to post what I've been doing so you can keep track of it. But it's going to be on a highlight reel under a 30-day challenge. So week 2 is nourishing the body. And sorry, I'm reading this. Week 2 is nourishing the body. I keep repeating myself. It's day 8 will be drink at least 8 glasses of water. That's easy because we're hydrated queens and kings and just amazing people that just drink 8 glasses of water. Okay? Period. You better get that bottle of water. I know you're thirsty. Day 9 is prepare a healthy meal that you've never tried before. We got amazing ideas here. Okay. Day 10. Oh, for day 9, I make an amazing acai bowl. I love it. I don't know if I'll make that, but I do make an amazing acai bowl. Day 10, do a 20-minute yoga session. This is going to be fun. I've never done yoga. Well, I've done yoga before, but never really. Day 11, go to bed 30 minutes earlier than usual. I have been doing that all week. Day 12, take a relaxing bath or shower with candles and calming music. This is going to be my best week ever. Day 13, try a new form of physical exercise. Examples, dance, Pilates, or whatever else. So change the routine up, babes. Day 14, write down how your body feels after a week of nourishing activities. This is gonna be fun. All right, y'all. So we got week 2 covered. Again, if you go at Blooming Dandelion Podcast, you're going to see what week 2 is going to be and what week 1 was. So let's keep doing this challenge and we are going to keep blooming together. I love you. Mwah! Thanks for tuning in to Blooming Dandelion. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow us on social media on Instagram at Blooming Dandelion Podcast for more inspiration. And remember to keep on blooming. See you next time, dandelions.